The screaming hit before she even cleared the gate. Red, white, and blue flags snapping in the bright lights of an Austrian arrivals hall. 30, maybe 40 voices deep, chanting one name as 20-year-old Eala stepped into a country where 30,000 Filipinos already call home. She hadn't hit a single practice ball at the Upper Austria ladies' Linz. She hadn't even reached the hotel yet. But the Filipino Army had already turned the airport into a stadium. What happened next, what tournament officials reportedly tried to contain, and what even a 22-time Grand Slam champion couldn't ignore, show that this movement has grown far bigger than anything the WTA calendar was ever built to handle. Just 72 hours earlier, Alex was grinding on the red clay courts of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. Intense baseline rallies, sweat flying on the dirt, preparing for her first ever appearance at the Linz Open as a seeded player in the WTA 500 draw. Her ranking had slipped to number 45 after a tough Miami exit, and this clay swing was her fastest route back into the top 30. Then she landed in Austria, and the entire tennis world remembered that rankings only tell part of Eala's story. The Linz Open is a well-run event. The defending champion is coming back, the draw is competitive, and the venue is intimate. And that last word, intimate, is exactly the problem. Experts are already saying the tournament's ticketing and venue policies are completely unprepared for what's about to descend on them. One prominent tennis analyst put it bluntly: there are 30,000 Filipinos living in Austria alone, and millions more are just a short flight away from anywhere in Europe. Look at what happened in Australia. The analyst accused the tournament of effectively blocking the 2 million-strong Filipino Army from fully showing up, whether through limited seats, restricted general admission, or simply failing to scale. The pattern is clear. At the Australian Open, Alex's side court became the loudest venue on the entire grounds. In Dubai, flag-waving fans completely overwhelmed the seating sections. In Indian Wells and Miami, tournament staff were scrambling to manage crowds that didn't show up for seeds or rankings. They showed up for her. Every single time, the infrastructure buckled. Every single time, the energy was called a surprise. At what point does surprise become negligence? The airport footage is where it stops being theoretical and becomes visceral. Alex walked through the arrivals corridor, and the fans engulfed her. Filipino flags draped over shoulders, phones raised like lighters at a concert, chants echoing off the terminal ceiling. This wasn't a coordinated PR stunt. No media handlers, no staged moment. These were ordinary members of the Filipino diaspora in Austria, people working in Vienna, Salzburg, and Graz, who tracked her flight and showed up simply because Eala represents something no tennis ranking can ever measure. Now put yourself in the shoes of the Linz tournament director watching that footage that same evening. Your venue only seats a few thousand. Your defending champion gets polite applause. And a 20-year-old who has never even set foot in your city just turned your country's airport into a full-blown pep rally before the draw was even finalized. That's the exact moment you realize you're not just hosting a tennis tournament anymore. You're hosting a cultural event, and you didn't plan for it. The numbers don't lie. Around 30,000 Filipinos live in Austria, deeply rooted across the country. Add the much larger Filipino communities in Italy, Germany, the Netherlands, and the UK, all within a short flight of Linz, and the potential crowd becomes staggering. These fans aren't hypothetical. They showed up in Melbourne. They took over Dubai. They painted Indian Wells red, white, and blue. The pattern is now documented across 4 continents and 5 tournaments in less than 12 months. From silent, intense training on Monday in Mallorca to viral airport footage seen by hundreds of thousands on Wednesday, to the main draw beginning on Sunday, April 6th. That rapid shift from hidden preparation to global phenomenon in under a week perfectly captures why Eala's rise defies every conventional rule in tennis. Her game improves in private. Her impact detonates in public. And what the real fans already understood long before the mainstream caught on is this. This is not a one-off spectacle. The surface changes. The country changes. The army does not. When the greatest clay court player in history opens his academy doors to a young Filipina and later says he sees her like his own daughter, that's not casual praise. That's Rafael Nadal. 22 Grand Slams, 14 French Opens. A legend whose name is synonymous with clay. Alex herself admitted in a recent interview just how much that relationship means to her. She said she still gets intimidated by him, her tongue gets tied when she sees him, and she's even ghosted his messages for days out of pure awe. That kind of genuine mentorship, forged on the same red clay she's training on, transfers something no ranking can measure. It transfers belief. And that belief is radiating to the 30,000 Filipinos in Austria, to millions watching back home in the Philippines, and even to the tournament directors who still haven't realized this is no longer a curiosity. This is a coronation in progress. The Linz Open runs from April 6th to the 12th. If Alex reaches the semi-finals on this clay, sharpened under Nadal's direct guidance, she's straight back inside the top 30. But what's unfolding in Austria is about something much bigger than one player's ranking. Tennis has always been shaped by European and American crowds. Its money, its broadcast deals, its sponsorships, all built around traditional audiences in London, Paris, New York, and Melbourne. Alex Eala is rewriting that equation. A single Filipino star is now generating attendance surges and social media buzz that rival top 5 seeds at the biggest events. Sponsors who ignored Southeast Asia just a year ago are watching this airport footage and urgently recalculating. After Austria comes Stuttgart, then Madrid, 2 massive European events where the Filipino diaspora is even larger. 450,000 in Germany, over 200,000 in Spain. If Linz becomes the cultural phenomenon every data point is predicting, Stuttgart and Madrid won't have the luxury of calling it unexpected. The army isn't arriving. The army is already there, embedded in every European city that hosts a WTA event. 3 weeks ago, Alex walked off the court in Miami after losing 6-0, 6-2. It was later revealed she played through a muscle tear. No excuses. No drama. Within days, she was back on clay at the Nadal Academy, swinging freely, moving intensely. She let the red dirt do the talking. Now she arrives in a country already chanting her name before she even landed. Alex Eala has forced professional tennis into a choice it keeps trying to avoid. Adapt to the cultural force she represents, or keep pretending that old venue rules and traditional models can contain a movement that now spans 4 continents and over 30 million overseas Filipinos. The sports answer in Linz starting April 6th will tell us everything. Leben lang. Keep fighting. That phrase echoed through the airport terminal in Austria. It echoes through every arena she enters. And it echoes across the ocean to every Filipino who saw this coming before the tennis world did. Your conviction wasn't early. The sport was just late. So, here's the question Linz will answer in the next few days. Will this tournament finally embrace the Filipino Army and give them the stage they've earned? Or will they repeat the same mistake every other event has made? Drop your prediction in the comments below. And if you've been riding with Alex since before the rankings caught up, before the airport scenes, before the flags and the Nadal cosign, this is your channel.
Subscribe.
Because this clay swing through Linz, Stuttgart, and Madrid is going to be the most important month of her career. And the community tracking every set, every crowd, and every moment she forces tennis to evolve, that community lives right here.